10 skills you need to become a millionaire. What does it take to become a millionaire apart from desire? What are the exact skills that one needs to be able to achieve this goal? What are the skills that millionaires have and an average person doesn't? What are those skills that only 2,000 people out of 7.5 billion living on the earth have? We cover it all in this video. Let's see. Getting rich is determined by many factors, and that's common knowledge. But what are those factors that all millionaires have in common? And how do we learn them and put them into practice? 1. Discipline. This is the foundation on which other skills are built. You can't expect to build a solid house without building a solid foundation first, right? The same applies to skills because no skill is gonna be worthy without discipline that makes sure you continue to practice it. Just like learning how to walk, swim, ride a bike, or even study for your finals, every human achievement requires a certain level of discipline. When you have a certain goal or a desired target, it is very important to write it down in order to achieve it. But what will carry your plans and goals out is discipline, which is doing whatever it takes to get constantly closer to achieving this goal. Sometimes it requires doing things you're not really comfortable with or doing something that you simply don't want to, like getting out of bed at 5 a.m. when you'd rather sleep till 8. But you do it anyway because you know why you're doing it and where it'll take you. This is especially hard during the winter when it's dark outside and cold, and it simply feels very uncomfortable and unnatural. But you must push yourself out of that comfort zone and get started with what needs to be done because having a desire is great, but unfortunately far from enough. And without developing the discipline that is required for doing necessary things, failure is guaranteed. Just think about it. How do you think you'll manage to do the remaining 9 steps if you fail to do the first one? It is indeed the hardest one, but as I already said, the most important one, without which the rest of them don't make any sense. So get out of that bed and start working on your plan. 2. Patience. Overnight success is just a fairy tale, and although it seems that it happened many times to many people, there had actually been a long road that led to it, but you may not be paying attention to it. The temptation to follow shortcuts is huge, I know, but all good things take time, so better focus on the right way of doing it, which will certainly lead you to your goal, than wasting time trying different shortcuts that will only get you exhausted and simply won't show expected results. Being patient along the way means sticking to your plans despite the small failures that may occur along the way, and it means sticking to them until they show results. Not everybody will say yes to you, but among 1,000 no's, there must be a yes. Rich people never fall for the idea of get-rich-quick schemes because they know that they're nothing more than just a scheme for which when you fall, the only person getting money is the creator of it, and they're making money out of people like you who fall for it. So please don't be that person and listen to this valuable advice. Building real wealth takes time, and you shouldn't despise days of small beginnings. It all starts with baby steps that lead you to the goal. So everything you do each day is an important factor that determines how long it will take you to get to the place that you want to be in. 3. Continuous self-improvement. Never stop improving because stagnation is a red flag. It's an indicator that you're doing something wrong, so don't let yourself stagnate. Do your best and always keep improving little by little. The advancement made in various fields, especially in science and technology, is something people in the past would find very difficult to understand. And all the big steps made in science, medicine, and technology have been made possible by individuals who continuously seek to improve on what already exists. These are the type of people who always look for ways to build a better version of something, and more importantly, a better version of themselves. An iPhone is a perfect example of this. The first one that came out was a huge hit, but if Apple didn't continue to improve it, then its success would have been long gone and other phones would come to its place. But because they constantly work on their products, continue to improve them, and work on their ideas daily, we now have the iPhone 14. Companies know that constantly striving to improve and innovate is a requisite for continued growth and success, which is why you must never be satisfied with what you know, because there's always more to learn out there. No matter how much you know about something, keep in mind that it will always be less than what you don't know. So never hit the pause button on yourself and continue learning a bit every single day, even on the weekends. 4. Learn to take opportunities as they come. There isn't a spectacular miracle from the sky that is waiting to fall into your hands when you're ready for it. So stop skipping on opportunities because you don't feel ready, because you never will really. Take each opportunity as it comes, because there won't be a replay. If you want to make a lot of money, you must learn how to see gaps and move swiftly to grab opportunities as they present themselves. It's also very important to learn to recognize an opportunity when it comes, because they don't always look like ones when they come. They're often masked in a way that they look risky, like trouble, and like it's too much work. And we as humans tend to fear anything that doesn't present its predetermined outcome, so we skip on them. But the reality is that it does take risks, and you must take chances if you want to achieve something exceptional in life. But it also means that by taking chances, you must be prepared for anything to happen, because there's no great success without the great risk. 5. Learn to sell. Even the thought of selling makes us feel like it's a form of manipulation and unethical persuasion, which is why so many people think selling is bad, while you don't realize that you have been selling right from the very moment you were born. When you were a baby, you would cry to get your parents' attention when you were hungry. You also somehow convinced your current partner that they should be with you, and you also convinced your employer to hire you. What you were doing to achieve those things was that you were selling yourself to them, and as soon as you accept this, the sooner you'll get to your desired goal, because selling is really essential for your survival. And since you've been doing it the whole time without realizing it, it is time you put some effort into learning how to sell anything well, because this improves your chances of becoming wealthy. 6. Sacrifice. Things you're willing to let go for a cause go a long way in determining the value you place on it. Are you, for example, willing to give up your free time and weekends that you can spend having fun with your friends for working on your fledgling business? A lot of people are determined to become wealthy unaware of the sacrifices they're gonna be obliged to take. But what actually matters is the value we place on our determination. So think of what you're willing to sacrifice. What are you ready to let go of or give up? You must understand that you constantly need to be willing to give up whatever is not serving your quest to become rich. It doesn't mean that you'll need to sacrifice everything right away, but to always be prepared and willing to give up whatever is not serving your quest to become rich. And this is also a skill that you need to have to be able to reach a specific goal. This skill develops over time, so don't worry if it makes you feel sad or frustrated in the beginning, because you'll get used to it over time and will feel natural to sit down and determine what's more important. 7. Reading. Millionaires claim that they read at least 50 books in a year, while an average income earner will read 3 books in a year. The difference is huge and clear, right? Power and discipline to sharpen the mind, to set a specific time to read a book on topics that are important for the acquisition of affluence. Reading is how you receive the pooled knowledge of thousands of wise people developed over their lifetime in just a few hours, because you don't have to struggle, fail, suffer, or pass through their experiences to learn about them, because The rich believe that only fools learn by their own experience, while wise learn from other people's mistakes, while making sure not to repeat them. 8. Learn to be a good team player. It's very rare to see a successful man that does everything himself because such a thing doesn't exist. Behind every successful person, there's a team of experts behind them that made that success possible. A man walking alone will walk fast, but a man walking in the company of others will go far. And if you're watching this video, it is clear that you'd rather go far than walk fast, right? Things that last are built by a group of people, and it takes time, just like lasting success does. When you're not alone, it's not that easy to give up. There are always people who got your back. You feel more inspired, and giving up simply isn't an option because it feels like a betrayal. Remember, no single tree is called a forest. A forest constitutes of shrubs, grasses, and other things as well. 9. Learn to be accountable for money and other resources. A word you must carry with you on your journey to the top is accountability. The reason we know the net worth of big companies and corporations is that they are accountable to the last cent. You must learn to account for what comes in and what goes out because by doing that you'll be able to cut down on extravagant spending, which in turn will help you save more. And the more accountable you are about your resources, the easier it will be to manage them. 10. Enhance your imaginative skill. Every millionaire saw themselves at the top long before they reached it, and so should you because training your imagination to see and picturing yourself at the very top, at the finish line of your goal or dream, over and over again will make it seem more real by time, and will become something you're certain will happen because you've been there in your imaginations so many times that it feels like it had already happened, which will make it much easier for you to work on getting there. Your imagination should be limitless and filled with endless possibilities, and it should be the primary source that spurs you on into greater dimensions and unlimited grounds. From learning those 10 important steps, we can conclude that getting rich is easier said than done, but it is far from impossible. All you need is a good plan, these skills, and the determination to stick to the plan, and before you know it, the time will pass and you'll be there. This brings us to the end of today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell button so you can get notified whenever there's a new business-related video ready for you.